All right, here we go again. Let's keep going with the flying VCD player. In the last episode, we worked on the knobs and the toggle switch and the input. And now we are going to have a little look at the speakers. All right, so let's get that out of the way and then we'll get into the bridge and stuff like that. All right. Okay, so let's bring in a circle, mesh, circle, rotate X90, and hit G and pull it over here. And we'll see what we can come up with for this. All right, so the plan as it stands is to fill this and do this. I'm going to give it some thickness, and I think what I want to do is I want to have this hole kind of rounded in. I don't know how well you're going to see that, but we're going to try it. So I'm going to Shift Alt and click this lower surface, and I'm going to Control B, and I'm going to pull back quite a bit, and I give a lot of segments and sort of round off that bottom. It'll have a flat part in the middle, but I don't care. I'm thinking of pushing that down in a nice distance. And then I'm thinking of doing both at the same time. So if I Shift D and G and bring this one over to here and scale it, there'll be a slight difference in depth and everything. I can do like that. But I think it'll be okay. Give it a try anyhow. So let's do rotation and scale on that one. Rotation and scale on that one. Let's join these, and let's do a Boolean on the guitar body to cut in using that, and we'll get this effect. We're not going to worry about that right now. Okay. Hide that and see. All right, so I've got two indentations there, which is exactly what I wanted. Now we could go in here for the time being. Let's try selecting both of them. Nah, it's not gonna work. Maybe medium pull. Okay, and then this come out to there. No, let's not do that yet. I take it back. We're gonna bevel if we can the outer rim. All right, Control B, pull away from the center. 1, 2, I'm going to give 3 segments to that. So we'll get that, and then we'll come back. You see that already, that has changed the smoothing issues. It's not perfect yet, but so that's why I'm not going to worry about it yet. We're also going to do some more here. In face selection, I'm going to grab that face, and I'm going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's try 6. Let's come over to the shading UV tabs and just hit shade. All right, and that'll help. Okay, let's try the same thing on this one here. You're not going to see most of this though. I don't know, was that 6 I came up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I want to come up one more on that one. I don't know why. It won't really make a difference. That's fine. Okay, now here's what I was thinking. Let's bring back that stuff and let's just get rid of it. All right, let's go back into here, select that face, Shift S, cursor to select it. So my 3D cursor is right there. Now Shift A, bring in a circle again. Am I in the right orientation? No. Rotate X90. All right, cool. Let's get this up here though, and let's scale this down. Just like that, and let's go into it. I have to make a face, and let's E to extrude. Let's pull down just a little bit like that for the moment, and I'll flip my polys back. And I was thinking, let's move this whole thing up. I was thinking of just grabbing that. Nah, let's go ahead and apply rotation and scale. Thinking of grabbing that insetting, pulling down a little bit, and then extruding down a little bit more. You're not going to see that part at all. I don't need to go back to object mode. And then for this, I was thinking of extrude, bring it up, scale it in a little bit. Extrude, scale, and then let's get a little closer. And bring it down. We'll scale in. Maybe we'll inset this time. Do that, and have our come up. Scale. You're not going to see a lot of these details the more I think about it. Do this, and we'll come back down. I'm just doing stuff. Okay, scale. Will come up a bit. I'll scale. We'll inset a bit more. I'll come back down a little bit further this time. I'll scale, and then I'm going to inset one more time. And I'm going to come up a better amount. I'll come down. I'll bevel this one. I'll probably bevel the other ones too. Let's just have a look at that. I'm making a little speaker. All right. Now, if I just smooth it, it's probably going to be okay, considering it's going to be inside. I can add some edge loops to that and stuff. Just bring it down to give you an idea. Add some edge loops to sharpen it up. I was thinking of putting one down there. I don't want to use the subdivision surface for this. All right, so instead what I'll do is I'll come in here and, geez, where will I add edge loops exactly? I could try one here and see if that's the effect that I want. It is getting a little bit sharp, isn't it? What if I took that and beveled it a bit? Just one. In the end, I might end up using subdivision surface. We'll have to see. Oh no, that's not what I want. Not that orientation. I'll come down here. And I might actually take this and bring it up. Take this face and scale that in a bit better. All right, I'll bevel this part here. Again, it's too much for something that's not even going to be seen. Just a very faint outline. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Now, let's say that was down in there. I can still add a subdivision surface if I really want to. But let's say that was down in there. And let's say I took this Shift D and I brought it over to here. And I scaled it. Now that's in the same depth. That hole may or may not have been that as deep. I'm going to take both of them and lift them up a little bit more. Let's do something else. Let's select this. Now let's hide that. Let's just in case it's not centered. It won't really matter, but let's select this. Shift S, cursor to select it. That's there anyhow. I'll bring that back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a cube like that. Let's look on it. Scale in the X way down. Even more than that. Like that. Scale it in Y way down. Way down. Like that. Scale in the Z way down. But it's got to go across though. Okay. Pull that down in here. Scale this in the Y even more. Alright. Select it and Control A, rotation and scale. Poly's flipped. Control N. While we're here, grab that edge and that edge. Control B. One segment like that. give the slightest bit of shine to it. Now, I may want to take these back down again a little bit further, now that I think about it. Okay. And I may want to bring that down just a tiny bit. So here is what I was thinking. I'm about to blow a lot of polys. See if I can get by with one less. Now I think I need them a little bit closer together. How's that? Yeah, because that's not all we're going to do. We would take that and let's try Shift D. No, let's not do that yet. Let's take that. Let's apply that. Origin to geometry right in the center. And let's go Shift D, rotate Y90. That's what I was thinking of doing. So you can see the speaker underneath it to some extent. Now, I already beveled it, so that's good. So take that and that, join them together, have a peek up there. Getting there, aren't we? Now, the fun part is this. I don't know how fun it is, but Shift D, G, bring it over here. Position it, and then we will go in wireframe and edit mode, and I'll try, not that, in vertex mode I'll try painting out some of this stuff. We'll see how we do if I do that. Paint all around it. See what happens if I get rid of those. Do I? Come on. Okay, I lost far too much. No, that's not what I want to do. Sorry, I take it back. Let's select it all, and we will do this. Bisect. No, not that way. Not that way. What will we do? Maybe we will do it this way. Oops. We could do that. Couldn't we? Oh hell. Stop screwing around. I just want to bring him in, I guess. I could do that. That would be fine. Then I could get rid of these. Sorry for the long way around, but sometimes, you know, when you've been busy all day long, you get tired and you're just not really thinking. Not really thinking. I'll go to there maybe. And just get rid of these. Oh, and I may have a few extras floating around that I'm missing, but you know, that kind of thing. As long as they don't stick out, I'm okay with that. And there's my speakers. How about that? Cool. That didn't take very long. I'm still not worried about this stuff there. All right, well, I can keep going, and I think we shall. Let's have a look at this bridge. This is going to be an important piece. This is not a rounded rectangle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a circle, I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to duplicate this side and put it over there, and then I'm going to join them together. Okay, so how about we just go Shift S, cursor to center, start over again right there. All right, Shift A, let's bring in a mesh circle, rotate X90, and bring it up. Maybe I didn't need to do it that way. All right, let's zoom in, scale a bit more. Kind of like that. All right, let's go into edit mode, vertices, box select, get rid of everything except for the one where it comes up and it goes, it's ready to go horizontal on the top and the bottom. X vertices. A to select it all, Shift D, rotate Y 180 degrees, right around, bring it back over to this side. All right, so we got them both. Select that vertice and that one, F, vertex, whatever, F to make a face. There, we got it closed. A to select it all, F to make a face, E, bring it up. All right, and with this shape for the bridge, I'm now going to create some spaces here. All right, so I'm going to go Shift A and bring in a cube, scale it down, move it over here, scale it in the X a little bit, scale it in the Z a little bit, and I'm going to want it to go down pretty far. We'll deal with that in a bit. But what I need to do is I need these spaces to line up with the poles of the pickup more than I needed to line up with the diagram. So I'm going to slide this down, and I'm actually going to position this around the pole a bit better. All right, Shift D, and I'm going to be just bringing them out like this. But I think before I do that, though, I actually will do some work on this item here. So let's go in and grab these edges all around, and Control B, and give them just 2 segments, a little bit of curvature. All right, and I could scale this in the Y just a little bit as well. All right, so let's now look back in wireframe and Shift D. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put it, you know, as reasonably close as I can get it. It's a very small detail, and I'm not gonna, no one's gonna see it that it's off. All right. Okay, just like that. Let's select them all. We'll join them together. And we'll put the origin of geometry. Okay, let's move this back to the bridge area here. And let's have a look in solid. Okay, so the idea is I want these to stick down in there, and I want to create a hole. Okay, let's get out of that. So let's save, and let's go ahead and try a Boolean difference with these, apply, and hide. Okay, so I got a nice deep hole. Let's come back to this bridge, and let's grab the top and the bottom. Possibly I should have done that beforehand. And let's try to bevel this to just like that. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. All right. I also, though, would like to try and bevel these spaces if I can. So I'm going to Shift Alt and click, not that, but just outside of each of these spaces, and then we'll inspect to make sure I didn't pick up any other edges that I didn't want to. Okay, I'm going to look like that. Control B, pull away, and go for 2 segments if I can get it. Beautiful. That's what I wanted. Cool. All right, now Assumedly a string is going to go through there. And let me go ahead and bring those back because I had an idea for this. What's that doing there? All right, let me think about this for a second. I want to try and scale these, each of them. And so if I want to scale them individually, if I just go scaling the X, they all move like that. So I switch over here to individual origins. Each will be treated as a separate rounded rectangle. So if I go scaling the X, each will scale along the X like that. So let's say I want to do that. Let's say I want to scale on the Z and I want to do this. All right. Now I may not be crazy about the curve after all that, but it's pretty small. Just gonna leave that like that for the moment. And let's have a peek at putting a little screw type thing underneath that. Let's grab both of these and bring it back up. All right, let's go Shift A, circle, rotate X 90, scale it down. Let's bring it up and over. And look down on it and see if we can do something like this. I mean, we can look in wireframe again if we want. This was an exaggeration for, you know, how it would be. Well, on the other hand, let's try something here. If I do this, if I do that, get off. See, the problem is I need the center of that to come through here. Let's scale this down a bit. I'm going to pull it out right where this dot is. I'm going to try this and I'm going to manipulate it. F to make a face, E to extrude. Oh, I don't need to go up that high. Something like this. Hang on, let's bring this down below. Select this face, inset. Let's apply scale first. Now we'll inset. E to extrude and pull it up through like that. Now, if that's too wide, that's all right. I can make this smaller. That's what I'm going to do. I want to scale, Shift Y. All right. I want to do something like that. All right. Come back to this and I'm going to grab this edge, and I don't really need to do the bottom edge, I don't think. Both of those like that. I'll smooth it. I can adjust the smoothing angle if I want though. Let's say I did that. Let's say I take this and I mirror with respect to this to the other side. Just see how that's going to look. It didn't mirror exactly center, did it? Alright, so I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to leave that here, Shift D, and I'm going to bring it over to here. I'll bring these down. Want to think about if this is what I want to be doing. So I'm off the diagram a ways. Those things though rest down there and the screw comes through. it goes like that. It doesn't matter, it's not perfectly centered. And by the way, the bridge is normally angled, and I don't feel like doing it that way. But I do like that, and so what I think I'm going to do now is have a look at this. I'm going to bring an edge loop way down to there. I'm going to grab all those faces, eye. This is a typical thing I often do. This might be kind of big. Maybe I'll do it there. I'll try this. Extrude individual. I'm going to pull out. And Control B, I'm going to pull back. That may not be exactly the effect that I want. But I think I'm going to go with that as a stylized view. Just give some texture to it. Shift D, and I'm going to just drag it out again like that. That kind of a thing. All right. Now, the problem is that that's quite high off of the guitar. The strings got to come up there. They're certainly not on the level of the pickups, are they? But they are higher than the pickups in the fingerboard. What I think I'd like to do is actually raise the pickups a little bit. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to come in here. I'm sorry, there's a lot of fiddling around with this kind of stuff. Gee, I have to select everyone individually. Can I do it differently? Can I do it differently? Where's the pickup? There it is. I'm going to go P, separated by selection. So I now have the pickup separated from the body again. And I'm going to look at 3. Just want to think for a second about how high. If I do that, and the strings are there. I actually like the pickup higher up anyhow. All right, let's go with that for now, which means I'm going to move this one. I didn't get it all, did I? Let's get these pieces here. To do it this way or not do it this way. I'm going to delete it and I'm just going to copy the other one. Like that. All right. Okay. My dog's sleeping on the floor. All right. How are we doing time-wise? This is getting long. All right. Here is what I had in mind. Maybe I will start from scratch with those. It'd be better if I did, anyhow. Yeah, let's do that. Let's come into this and let's not worry about how it looks. Shift selected. Let's bring in a cube again. Scale it way down. I was thinking, first of all, before I do any weird beveling or anything, something like this. And I was thinking that if I just did this, I just want to simplify this. It's small detail. I'm on individual origins, aren't I? I don't know if I just did anything else that was affected negatively by that. How about if I do 2 more and scale them in the X, and then just start. Can I just start pulling that down? Would that be all right? Like that. Just have a look at it from here. That's really what I wanted, and the string would fit into that. Okay, maybe it's too thin, but too thick. But I mean, I don't want it too thin. You'll never see it, you know. And if I do this, and then if we add a bevel to it, you know, just a simple bevel because it's so small. What if I was to do that? Even longer. Shift D, and just by hand drag them in. I can position them better later. I always say that and then I never do. No, it's not true. I sometimes do. And then I could also do this kind of thing. So I could do that, and then I could select this, cursor to selected, and bring in a cylinder, just like that. Grab this face and pull it through until it touched there. See if I like that. I'll go in. Grab this face and bring it a little bit closer. Well, somewhat closer. E and scale it out. E and bring it out here like that. You know, like to make a screw. I can widen all that. I just want to make sure if I have another one here, they won't interfere, and they won't. So let's grab this. Scale Shift Z, I think. No, not that much. Scale Shift Z. Like that. Something weird. Hope not. Let's scale the whole thing Shift Z because I think it's too wide. But I want it to be seen, so let's grab that. Control A, rotation and scale. Although I do actually want to make that a bit bigger. I think it's that much. Scale Shift Z. I do want the head to be a bit bigger. And then here I'm going to just bevel that. You know, we'll do smooth. And I can always put an edge loop here and here, and that'll change that smoothing issue. You know, what if I had that? And if I copy this, I can do more work on that in a minute. We're just looking. Will I, okay, I have to lengthen that, or just position the piece. I'll have to lengthen that even more. think? I think some should be further this way, you know, like towards that. You know, that kind of thing. Now, is it worth going into these and taking those faces and eye, but not too small? Come on, back to me. And where am I going? Where am I going? Extrude individual, pull down like that. That may have been a bit much. Bevel just once, just cause, you know, and from a distance, that may have been the wrong way to do it. Yeah, although it looks cute. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just have another quick look. Yeah, it's because I've got all these edges. You know what I can do? I can take that edge and that edge, maybe even this one and this one, and I should be able to dissolve those edges. You know, and you get back to that and do this. Like that, and then do it. Not so much though. It may not be all that visible, but it might be fine. All right, I would do that. I like this one there. I don't want them too far back. That's good enough. And just for this one, maybe we'll just lengthen it. Let's bring it back a bit though, because I put another edge loop there. You know, you're never going to see those. That's all right. And that's what I was thinking of so far. All right, well, I think that's great. Let's just take a quick shot for the thumbnail, just like this. Well, actually, what have we done? The speakers and that. I'll take a shot like that. All right, we'll save that, and we'll be back in a bit with more modeling.